Hello and welcome to Ocean Roamer's Mixed Reef. This is just a journal on how I achieved to set up a 350 litre mixed reef setup. Hope you enjoy. Today I'm going to be talking about test kits and also giving you an update out of this biological bloom that I've had going on in the tank and what I've been doing to combat that. My first test kit that I picked was the API Saltwater Master Test Kit. Simply picked this to help me through the cycling process. It packaged up as all the tests that I need to get me through the cycling process. So in one go, a good starting platform. I used this hydrometer to test my SG, and also it had a thermometer combined as well, which was handy because that works hand in hand with your SG. I use this temporarily just to get started. Don't forget your cycle right, girls and boys. It's a tap water conditioner that removes the chlorine, so make sure you get that in before you load your tank up with your water. I've just recently acquired these two. Obviously a TDS meter there and also an SG meter. The TDS tells me what my output of my tap water is, my pure water, hopefully 0. And obviously the SG gives me a reading on SG and also temperature as well, which is quite handy. Simple to operate, really easy, come with calibration solution. I picked these two because I know I'll be using them quite a lot. There are more electronic test units on the market, which I'll probably add to my collection for the tests that I'm doing quite regular. But this is just where I'm starting off at the moment. So as you can see, I like to record my results from my tests just so I've got a reference of what's going on in the tank, what did I do last, why did I get that result. It just gives me something that I can look back on and maybe look and say, well, I did some changes there and they actually worked quite good, or something went really wrong, oh look, I made some changes there. So always a good reference point to look back on and see what you're doing right or wrong. Yeah, as you can see, I went through a biological bloom on the cycling process. Doesn't happen to everybody, but it happened to this system. So I had to take a few different measures just to deal with the biological bloom, which I'll talk about. G'day, and hope you enjoyed the series. Just a light, casual, informative video as towards how I set up my system. So moving along, biological bloom. That's what I'm sort of suffering at the moment. Just slowly correcting it. Been through the cycle process. All my readings are zeroed out. So ammonia 0, nitrite 0, and nitrate 0. SGs 1, 0, 2, 3. Temperature is about 24.9 and I'm 18 days into cycling. As you can see, the tank is starting to come slightly better than what it was from them still photographs. Like everybody else, and I've been sort of on and off reefing since the late 90s. As soon as I saw it, panic. But the good thing was I was able to look back at the notes and go, oh yeah, did that. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. So yeah, it works for me. It may not work for you, but I like to keep my notes and then I can look back. So what have I done to combat my biological bloom? Okay, there's been a couple of things. I've ummed and ahed, what should I do? The first thing I tried, because I was cycling, I hadn't bothered with the skimmer. So I cranked the skimmer up, see if that cleared it. There was nothing really happening there. It was producing like a white foam. I tried dialing it down so it wasn't really a wet white foam, but it was still producing quite a lot. thinking if it's a biological bloom, there's some die-off going there. I might be able to remove the die-off through the. But anyway, so I continued with that and progressed. Not a lot really happening there. Did a bit of research on the internet and that, YouTube, and I came across this product here. I don't get paid to promote products. I'm not sponsored by anybody or anything like that. I'm not sure whether you can see it too well. It's Seachem Clarity. I just did a bit of research on the net and looked at other people's biological blooms, that sort of thing, and found that this product had worked for them. So went to a couple of LFFs and had a chat with them. A couple of them had different views on how to tackle it, approach it, and that sort of thing. At the back of my mind, I had a rough idea what I wanted to do, and I stuck with that approach. I'm not saying the shops were right or wrong, but I just had my own preference how I wanted to tackle it first. So I bought the Seachem Clarity and dosed as according. When you dose it, it looks like the actual colour of it. It looks like a really weak cup of tea without any milk. So you get this sort of coppery colour going into your tank, and you know, a lot of people are thinking, oh, gee, I hope that's not copper based, but it assures you on the packaging that it's safe for marine reef systems. So I'm quite happy with that. So I've dosed the tank, and I dosed as according. It said it should clear it in 2 hours. 2 hours went, and she was still cloudy. Anyway, I found the amount of cloudiness that I had. Basically, it took about 12 hours to start seeing a change. I also put in some filter wool in the weir just before where the pump goes, the return pump. So I put some filter wool in there, and I could see it was picking up the copperish tinge in the Seachem Clarity. And another 12 hours went by, and I was getting some clarity with it, but it was still very, very cloudy. So I watched a few more videos, and I'd heard somebody mention that they had to do 3 or 4 dosings to clear their system. So I ummed and I ahed, and I dipped in and got the filter wool out, give it a rinse in existing tank water, replaced it. There was a lot of discoloured water came out from that, which I felt better about. And I've dosed the tank up to now to get it to this position. I've dosed the tank with 3 lots of doses probably in the last 36 hours. As you can see from the video, there's still a lot of biological bloom in there. I'm sort of thinking it should come something right within the next 24 hours. So patience is the name of the game, and just stick by and stick with what you know, you feel right, and you trust. If you go down a path and then all of a sudden you get to a point and you then reach out, you know, there's plenty of forums out there, that sort of thing. So I'm following the path that I think's right for me. Like I say, I'm not panicking too much because there's no livestock in, so that's the good thing about being at this point. And it's just a case of slowly. I was tempted to try this, try that, and try this. You can get into sort of negative space with that because you're trying to do too many adjustments, and the adjustments don't always come through. You know, they take a bit of time. So the more you keep chopping and changing things, you could actually make things worse or stumble on a quicker way of doing things. But yeah, stick with one thing at a time, I'd say, and just slowly follow through with it, and things will come right. Be patient. So yeah, I'm obviously itching to get some fish in, but I didn't want to put fish in while I've got this biological bloom going on. One, if something happens to the fish, I can't even see where it is. Although my tests and everything and my readings were zeroed out, I still don't want to put anything in there, just for the simple reason, yeah, it's probably going to stress the fish more than likely because you can't see where it's going. So why do that to a pet or an animal or whatever you want to, how you term your fish? So yeah, just let the cycle process and the biological bloom finish, and hopefully in maybe a couple of days we should be right for getting some stock in. So yeah, let me know about your problems. You know what you've had. If you think I've gone about it the right way, you know, I'm always open to advice. And yeah, um, we'll set up another video probably when I'm putting some stock in and see how we go from there. All right, hope you all enjoyed. Any questions or anything? I'm not sure whether you can put them on YouTube or whatever, but all right, I'll catch up with you soon. Guru.